Hello, everyone. I am super happy to be here. I have a surprise for many of you, a special Joy Wellness workshop that I'm streaming as a gift here to all of you. I will have guest speakers as well who are going to contribute. And I want to give you a quick summary of what you can expect by saving this hour and playing here with us. So this is a creativity inspiration workshop to help you get out of stress mode into wellness mode. And walkaways that you can get from this workshop is you can connect to your inner peace. You can access more of your resilience and inner superpowers so you can heal and navigate through any obstacles. And you can also actually get a sense of what it feels like when you thrive. And I'm saying all of these things from my own experience. I have been doing that through my own cancer healing journey. And now I'm inspiring cancer patients and wellness seekers to make their life more awesome. And I call it sparkly, in which for me means whatever a magical life means to you, whether it's more wellness, more love, more abundance, whatever it is. I actually wrote this book, Permission to Sparkle, and Sparking Your Dream Life. So I'm here as Cancer Thriver, as book author, and I'm excited to inspire you all. And so I'm already going to bring a first guest on the call because she only has limited time to be with us. So I'm going to introduce Jana. Let me see if I can bring just Jana on. Otherwise, we'll have everybody, and that's okay. Yes, we have more people. It's all good. There will be more people as well. You get to meet her in a second, too. Okay, we have Jana here. And I'm quickly telling everybody how I know Jana and who she is and what she does, and she can elaborate from there. So I've known Jana for many years. She has one of the healing things that she uses is music. So she has a magical voice, and people actually call her a healer with a healing voice. And I have experienced that, and that's been one of the key things that also helped me as one of the things in my cancer healing journey. Music can truly be healing and also helps us getting out of fear mode. I used it during chemo. I used it when I was getting surgeries even. I always ask for special music. And even when I had my port placed, I was freaking out. And I had this surgeon who was amazing. And she said, "What music do you want to hear?" And she said, "You cannot be scared and enjoy at the same time." So we put on music, and that's a brain thing. It's literally our brain can focus on one thing at a time. And what happened, she put on the Sound of Music. She ended up singing. My surgeon was singing. She inspired me to sing. And so we ended up laughing, and I got started feeling way better. And it was not comfortable, but I was focused on the joy. And so, Jana, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. I'm going to unmute you, and you're going to share some inspiration. Tell everybody hello, and what are you sharing to inspire people for more wellness and joy?
Oh, thank you. Astrid, first of all, thank you so much for creating the space for wellness and joy. And this is your journey, and I love it that you're taking everybody else who is open to that to take that journey with you. And we as contributors, I mean, we just we hop on the wagon, on the bandwagon. Yeah, and I love this since we call you the sparkly girl. I love the sparkly jacket on you. It
Thank
just
you. Of
totally
course.
goes with the theme, right? And it brings the energy up very, very quickly, instantaneously. So what I want to do today is to share with you one of the tools, just one of them, from the breath work that I've been doing myself, and I discovered First of all, just for the intellectuals out there that we all are, we need to understand why we are doing something. Breath work, apparently, so breath is connected to emotions. And there's a great correlation, because we can change the state of mind just by breathing and using the breathing techniques. So one of them, there's plenty for different reasons. Sometimes you can combine them, but just for the sake of time, what I also want to mention, I want to, for everybody today, to experience a little bit, just a snippet of meditation. So we'll do one breath, like breath exercise, that will be the prelude to a short, very short kirtan meditation. Kirtan is music, right? So I am all about me. Everything I do is connected. I do it through music, one way or the other, whether that's custom songs or meditation retreats, whatever. It's always about music. And music, singing, just the mere act of singing. You don't have to be a singer. I just want to give people a peace of mind. It is not about how well you sing. It's about putting yourself in the space, mental space, when you are thinking about the mantra. Because in meditation, singing kirtan is only 3 words, and I will teach you those 3 words. And I want you all to pay attention to the sensations in your body. First, after this breathing exercise, I'm going to teach you right away. And then after the kirtan meditation, just for a couple of minutes. Very simple, but I guarantee you, if you like the sensations today, and if you just stay open to the idea of breath is connected to your emotions, and every time you feel less than happy or less than good, right? Good is very similar to God. It's just the O is the only letter. That is the difference, right? So you can remind yourself, or just make a note for yourself, because we tend to forget. And it changes your state immediately. So this is the breathing, and it's another revelation. When I was at the UPW, Tony Robbins uses that every single day. I didn't know where it comes from. I thought he was the creator of that. Apparently it's not. It's the ancient wisdom. So here's what you do. I'm going to move myself a little bit. Whoops. So sorry for the noises. So what you do, and is, we're gonna, let me move myself so that you can see me. Put your make tight, not tight, but loose fists, right? This, and elbows closer to your body, but no tension in the body, so that your shoulders are loose, right? So you don't feel any tension, and your spine is erect, right? So your spine has to be aligned with the head, so you're sitting straight up, right? There's no curvy line like this, so straight up. So loose fists. And now what we're going to do, we're going to breathe out through the nose. And when there is no, just as a transitional breath. And then we're going to put your hands up, and see how I'm spreading all the fingers up. And then you're kind of grabbing that energy with a little bit of the jerk, right? Like this, right? Like this. From the divine, right? So you can't see my, I wish you could see. Okay, let me show you, right? Like this. When you are up there, you like grab it. So feel the tension in your arms, and then from there, we're gonna exhale with the jerk through the nose, and put your elbows closer to the body. Not like this, but like this. Like this, you see? So we're going to do 3 sets of 5. Usually you do 3 sets of 15, but we'll, just for the sake of time, and feel the sensation. So let's just do, and I'm going to comment as we go. So let's do 5 of those. Now, transitional breath. Breathe out through the nose here, right? Like your elbows close to the body. Breathe out. Empty your lungs, and then breathe in, hands up, and then with a jerk, breathe out. And then let's do it 5 times. Now open your palms like this and rest them on your knees. And just keep your eyes closed. I forgot to tell you to close your eyes so that you're not distracted by anything. If you feel tingling, in your palms, right? And in your body, that's totally normal. That's how the prana, which is the space in between the molecules in your body, is filling up the whole space. So now let's do it again. And tight, like loose fists. And we're going to grab the energy from the divine. Now palms up on your knees and just feel the emotions and feel the sensations. And breathe slowly and normally. And you can probably feel the difference already, right? How if you were stressed or anything, you are rebalancing, you're going back to who you are, like restoring the energy balance in your body. And let's do it one more time. So fists up and grab the energy from the divine 5 times. And then put your palms up on your knees. Feel the sensations. Keep your eyes closed. And we're going to sing. So meditation is made easier because meditation is a journey within. It's usually made easier as a transition from movement, which we just did, into stillness. And it's sort of like a shortcut to become still. And the 3 words we're going to use are Baba, Nam, Kevalam. Baba means beloved, Baba Nam Kevalam, which is loosely translated from Sanskrit language. Love is all there is. And just sing along with me, and then we will have 2 minutes of silence. Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam, Baba Nam Kevalam, 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 Baba Nam Kevalam. So keep your eyes closed, and with your eyes closed, keep repeating that mantra if you can in the back of your mind, in the back of your head, as you know how we used to do it, putting the favorite songs on repeat, and think about the meaning of that mantra, that love is all there is. And we're gonna come back in 2 minutes. Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam Kevalam. Slowly open your eyes.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was so magical, so powerful. I trust that everybody watching this felt awesome. We would love to see comments. This was one of 4 contributions in this workshop. I have 2 other ladies, and I'll also have a piece later for you all to get out of stress and into more wellness. Jana, I know you have to pop out. I want to let everybody know where they can find out more about you. Jana has this website, hbhummingbirdacademytoday.com, hbacademytoday.com, if you're curious about her healing music and what other amazing things she does on the planet. And if you can also come to a free group that we have where Jana is one of the contributors. It's a Joy Wellness Inspiration Group. I'm showing that already real quick. It's called Cancer Catalysts to Joy for all wellness and joy seekers, cancer patients, and beyond. So thank you, Jana. I'm going to let you head out, and we'll have more people joining on in a second. Bye, Jana. Thank you so much. This was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Such a feel-good thing. Oh, my goodness.
So good.
All right. So before I will go to one of the 2 next guests that I have, I want to share something real quick from my cancer healing challenge. And this shall be inspiring for anybody, even if you're not in a cancer healing journey. This is also all about going from stress to wellness. So here's me with a quick stick figure at the beginning in this challenge of breast cancer. What happened is we get thrown into this wild adventure where there are so many choices. It can really be overwhelming. So I had the first thing that pops up, of course, you go see a doctor. And then there was like, okay, here's these things that we're going to do. Traditional medicine is the first, or one of the first things that comes to most people. But as I was here, I quickly discovered and already knew that there is more opportunities, right? So I was already aware of things like energy medicine, the whole element of prayers and faith. I already trusted a higher power, whatever you define that to be, universe, spirit, God, it doesn't really matter. So I already had found that for myself. I started instantly looking at nutrition, and then I became aware of more things like, meditation was one, dogs, Eastern medicine. So I started discovering all these things. And what happened was like, oh my gosh, it was overwhelming at first, right? But then what happened for me, and I want to share this as an inspiration of empowerment, I ended up choosing the things that worked for me. So that was the first thing, that the power of choice that we always have. And how do you choose, right? So here's the thing, how I choose. So here's this overwhelmed person where your mind is going kind of like this, like, wow. It's all, you have all these influences, and then cancer, oh my God, right? A lot of stigma, and then scary and whatnot. And it can be rough at the beginning. And I had those moments also at the beginning. But what I ended up doing and what helped me, how did I get to this? How did I get to Sparkle? um, well, one thing that Jana also highlighted is we pause and just kind of take a breath, right? So, whew, and when I did that, I ended up looking for my intuition and what my heart wants. So, one of the big things that I'm sharing here, which has also been basically one of the keys in my book, Permission to Sparkle, is that I started asking myself what truly feels right for me. And I framed that question in a way of what brings me joy. And that might sound kind of extreme when you're like in a really deep pit of overwhelm or feel terrible. But the cool thing is that actually helped me get out of those things. So, because in every little moment, I can ask myself, okay, in all this chaos, and all these challenges and body feels and fears and whatnot, what can I do right now that will bring my heart joy? And there's always an answer when we listen to our heart. And so Jana just gave the example of I can take a breath. That can bring me more joy in the moment and creates more wellness, right? That was yeah, one of my things too. When I was so tired that I couldn't do anything, in chemo one time, I needed fresh air and I was too tired to go outside. So I just opened the window and laid on the bed. That brought me joy in that moment, right? So it's step by step following that question helped me. And then listening to my heart, right? And so what happened from here, we're gonna this was a quick preview. What we're gonna do later, I have a blank sheet of paper here where I'm going to help you with a creativity mini exercise afterward to also access more joy and your inner resilience and vibrancy and thrive mode. All of that is what I find through creativity. That also helps me hear what my heart says. So that's coming up. And now I want to give the word to one of my next guests, and I'll just take the one who I see has our video ready to go. This is Amy Carlson. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm going to take your introduction here. So you are a mindset coach. Where did I put the copy paste? You know what? I'm just going to give the microphone to you to introduce yourself properly with all the magic that you do. Can you share where you're calling from and what you're doing for people now? And you also had your own body challenge. Maybe a few words from like, what was that story that you have and what do you do now?
Cool. Thanks for having me, Astrid. I love being a part of this group. So I am a life coach specializing in mindset, but also, recently I've been realizing a lot of what I do with clients too is, drawing out that creativity, which you know all about how special that is
Yep.
um, for all of us. And so I do one-on-one coaching and group coaching and um, really help people lean into their zones of genius.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've had a journey of one of my special activity that I'm going to do with you guys today too is a little related to what I've done in my past, which I work into my current offerings as well. But my own health and body journey has had a lot to do with learning to accept myself and my body. And my what really has helped me with that, and years ago what started to turn that kind of negative body image around was when I learned more about yoga, and I started to do yoga and felt more acceptance around, just the process of everybody's body is different and every day is different and every hour can feel different about what your body um, wants to do and how it wants to move or how it wants to rest. And that really helped my own self-acceptance. And then I continued to do a little bit with some dance, which was also just, just getting some of that expression out and allowing it to just be more free flowing. So both of those things have really helped me learn to just really to learn more freedom, to feel that freedom within who we are and what our bodies, how dynamic our bodies are. And I love the word that you used before with resilient, how
Mhm.
resilient our bodies and our minds can be.
Mhm. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. And I know, like in my own, I actually experienced that, all that you're mentioning too, that affected how I navigated through the cancer challenge and how my body responded with less side effects. Because when we are in that frequency of joy and we use things like dance and movement, that's one of the things that I also found. Yes, then
Yes.
it gets us into a mode that is healing conducive. So fear is like one that is actually supports disease. And when we feel joy, I felt that in my body, that it actually, you're feeling like you're breathing, you're opening up, and your body flows, like your body's doing its things. It's doing the healing thing. So I can confirm that I experienced what you're saying. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah, the fear, just when you brought that up, it's like it's contracting, we really feel the contraction in it. And then the joy allows us to open and expand and feels so much better.
Yes. Yep, yep. Actually makes a difference. What do you have as a play prompt?
Okay, I love the synchronicity. So earlier with Jana, it was like when with the arm movements and things, and I thought,
Mhm.
"Oh my goodness," like, that's what I was already going to work with, was a bit of movement, especially through our arms,
Mhm.
because they in our day-to-day life, they are often just by our sides,
Yep.
sort of still, or at a computer, and
Mhm.
in the reality of it is our arms, so go ahead and feel free as anybody's watching, just take one hand and just run it across from your fingers up to your shoulders. Our arms are really our expression. They're meant to express. And when we get to move our arms, and then you can take the opposite. You can just brush down from your shoulder down to your fingertips, getting both sides. And when we allow our arms to activate as they want to be more expressive. So we're going to start off with just the fingers for a moment. And you could do this anywhere, right? You could be sitting, you could be um, on a train, on a bus, you could be sitting at your desk, just wiggling your fingers, kind of like, yeah, little creepy crawlies. They could be here, they could be anywhere in space. And then you see, as you start to move them, the bones in I'm going to get this in front of the camera. The bones in our forearms love to rotate. So to give them the rotation as our palms go up and down, and see how that feels. And then you start to notice your wrists. Allow your wrists to that joint to move, and your elbow joints to move. And then, of course, your shoulders want to join in, don't they? As you go wrists, elbows, shoulders. And there's no right or wrong. You're just feeling your way through it, allowing the movement to flow. Of course, the breath flows as you move. And it helps us move our emotions through too when we start to move our
Nice.
bodies. Yeah. Yeah. And then just feel what it feels like to cross your body. So, like taking right arm across to the left side and left arm across to the right side. So, anytime that a part of our body will cross the midplane, the midline, it makes a nice brain connection as well, too. And it just feels good, right? It's kind of like one part of our body moving into the other space. Oh, check this out over here. Yeah. And then take a moment and just, depending on where you're at, you kind of want to get behind yourself a little bit. We usually forget what's going on back here. So if you just take your arms, as much as they will, to kind of check out the space behind you and just sense that and see how that feels. You might go above and behind. And then you start to notice a little twist in your spine too, as you might do that. Yeah. And so this is just, I like to encourage people to add these kind of free flowing movements anywhere in your day when your body starts to alert you that you need a little bit of movement. So you can put on music, you can dance, but you can also just, have some creative movement. You could move like the wind, you could have tree branches. You can get as creative as you want, but try some different things with these expressive arms. And just like what Jana was doing too, the fists, you can make your palms into little paintbrushes. You can do wax on, wax off, all those fun things. And then you get the blood flowing and you get a little conditioning all through the arms and the shoulders, and it keeps that mobility. But it can be fun. We don't have to think of movement as just a very strict regime. It can be a fun thing to do to serve us well. And all of this helps open through here. Yeah. And just getting in touch with our bodies and our breath. And yeah. How's that feel, Astrid?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're doing this. Movement is such a big thing that I didn't always do, especially when it was those harsh moments. I forgot, and I remember even like having to tell myself, oh my gosh, I do want to make big movements, and I hadn't made big movements in a while. Like I remember that during chemo at the beginning, I had such a moment, and I was working with a coach, and she was like, why don't you make big movements? And I'm like, yeah, why don't I? So I actually and just doing that and expressing ourselves, it instantly made me feel better. And even now also it feels so good, and it helps us to in so many ways. Like there's so many studies. My mom actually sent me a magazine that made talk to all these experts about how movement helps heal cancer, prevent recurrence. It allows our body to flow and like do all its things, and the blood gets flowing, and the happiness molecules. I'll just call them happiness molecules.
I like that.
Yes, all of that. It's so good. Thank you.
Good. You're so welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. And it brings more joyful thoughts too. Because when we dance, suddenly we don't go down the rabbit hole of like just sitting there, fears. But it brings us out into a different state, and that brings different thoughts. And so, for anybody who wants an explanation of why that is awesome. Yes, thank you. And I love that you brought the joy to it too, because I had many times, for me, joy has to be part of everything. If it doesn't bring me joy, and that's also because I keep that question as important to me, what brings me joy, right?
Yeah.
And so I used to even think like going to a fitness studio, it feels like should, and like if it feels painful, I don't want to do it. So dance for me works. We can always ask ourselves like what brings us personally joy, and then do that. Thank you.
And it's that tuning in to like our bodies know, right?
Mhm.
What
Yes.
and it can be a free dance in your living room.
Yes.
Can be the perfect thing that you need right then.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Amy. There's so much more that we can do and talk about with movement. I love that so much. Just giving a quick hint for anybody who wants to play more with us. So, Amy, you are one of the contributors in this free group that I have that inspires for wellness and joy. And we have regular play prompts and inspirations in there and access to workshops. It's all free. It's called Cancer Catalyst to Joy. I think on Facebook I called it Wellness Joy Group or something. Just follow this Cancer Catalyst to Joy. You'll find the group. And come find us if you want to play more and if this calls you. And I showed Amy's website if you're curious about more that she does. That's her website right here. Thank you, Amy. So I'm going to over to our next guest expert that I have. I'm going to already introduce her and we'll say who she is, and then I'll share her in a minute. So she is a registered and licensed dietitian and culinary expert who is in private practice and gives lectures around South Florida. We have people from all over the U.S. here on the call, and she holds certifications in adult weight management and functional nutrition. So she helps us eat while feeling joy. So she's all about balance and moderation, and her motto is to eat real food. Eating healthy doesn't have to be boring, and just baked chicken and broccoli, she says. She loves teaching her clients how to make food fun and delicious. So I'm going to bring her on. Her name is Stacey, Cancer Nutrition Coach. So nice to have you, Stacey.
Hey.
Oh.
This was great. I mean, we got to move our body and meditate, and now we have to talk about things that nourish our body, because all those things are great too. But what we put in our body affects everything about us. It will affect our movement and how we feel, especially with our joints and all that. We want to eat the right food to help us move better.
Yes. I can't wait to. Do you want to share anything else about what you do and why do you work for cancer patients? Whatever you want to share so people can meet a bit about you. I think it's always cool for people to connect with
just
us.
A little bit about me of why I got into why I got into nutrition was when I was younger, my grandmother told me that if you eat pasta, you'll lose weight. So the good American I took that to the extreme because, you got to go big or go home. And that's all I did for 2 years. I was probably 13 years old, and that's all I ate was pasta and Crystal Light iced tea, and drank Crystal Light iced tea. And I started having really bad stomach pains. If anyone would have met me, they would have thought I was bulimic because I was throwing up after every meal. And I started losing my hair at the age of 16. And my mom was like, okay, there's something going on. So she started taking me to doctor to figure out like what was going on. Looking back, hindsight, like it's kind of a little bit obvious. But one doctor told me it was female pattern baldness and I better get used to it. And we finally went to an alternative medicine doctor. And I just remember sitting in her office. And the first thing she asked me, besides my name, was, what do you eat? And when I told her my diet was pasta and Crystal Light iced tea, she was like, you're malnourished. And at the age of 16, I realized that diet has a big effect on everything about you. It affects the way you feel, the way you look, everything. So it really made me appreciate, and I changed my diet completely. I don't eat pasta and Crystal Light iced tea all the time anymore. I'd still eat pasta, mix the Crystal Light, but I really learned at a young age what a difference food makes in your life and how you feel. And we came to find out I had food allergies, so I wasn't making things up in my head. I really had significant problems, but I learned, and I want to help people, with that. And especially with cancer, I went for a job. They put me on a cancer floor, and I was like, okay, like, what am I going to do with cancer and nutrition? And it really opened my eyes, and I fell in love with working with people with cancer who've been touched with cancer, because food is like the one thing you do have control over. And, we want to beat the cancer. We don't, we want to do everything possible. So being able to eat healthy, nourishing our body to deal with chemo, and especially with chemo and radiation, all the side effects. I love working with clients, when they're going through treatment too, to figure out ways to add healthy things into their diet to give them the calories, and not going to McDonald's and eating a cheeseburger and French fries. Like, there are healthy ways to add the calories to your diet. And I'm not the person who's going to tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that. It's focusing on what you should be eating and how to add the healthy things into your diet. Like, cruciferous vegetables are so important. Your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, your spinach. And sometimes people don't like that, but I love working with people to try to sneak it in their diet, or figuring out ways how to make it more delicious, that they will eat it, that it doesn't have to be steamed broccoli. That's boring. I'm not going to lie. That's gross. I won't eat that. Like, no. But like, I've learned about myself the way I like to eat certain vegetables. Like, I like broccoli, but I like it cut into small little pieces. If you give me a big thing of broccoli, that turns me off. So it's figuring out ways that you like vegetables and how we could sneak them into your diet so you get them in there.
Nice. I love it. And it's also the question behind that, then how does it personally bring you joy? Like, there's no should, like that's one of the things that I have in my book all the time. If something feels like a should voice, I should be doing this, that's not coming from your heart. It might not even be the serving your body. So really, like, you got a motorcycle going, rah, and it's okay. It's actually not too loud. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to mute them.
yeah, no, it's great. So I love, and I want to validate that too, how much that helped me on my journey also, to find a way to eat with joy and to cook with joy and to reconnect with that. I'm so glad, like, people like you are so needed, because I had a time where I literally did not know how to feed myself during my cancer journey. And so thank you for being here and being in my group. And everybody,
joyful.
What's up?
Food should be joyful. Like, food makes us happy. Like, we eat when we're happy. We eat when we're sad. Food should give us joy. And I don't want people to restrict themselves, like, of things that they enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear so often is, I'm not eating chocolate. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm not drinking wine. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. What's left? What joy do you have? Like, food should not be a miserable time. Mealtime should not be awful. It shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be like stressful.
Yeah, it can be a celebration.
Yeah.
Yes, and it makes such a difference. So oh my goodness, big awesome topic. So do you have something that you can give people, like an actionable kind of play prompt or tip or something that they can try at home to bring more wellness and joy through food into their lives? Like, what would you say, or what would you say? Otherwise, I can quiz you too.
I think try something new. Find a fruit or a vegetable that you've never had before and try it. You might like it, like pomegranates or star fruit. Mangoes. I don't know. Like, here they're very popular, but try a different fruit or vegetable that you haven't tried before. If you don't know what to do with it, text me, send me a message. I'll help you out, or send me a picture of what you're looking at. But try something new. Be adventurous, because we do get stuck on going food shopping and buying the same things. If it's apples, oranges, bananas, like, we get stuck in the same routine. So buy something new, try something new.
Nice. I love the adventure sense. That is really cool. And then it's also, sometimes it might taste like weird, but then you might be really pleasantly surprised. Like, for me, it was, I did that a lot, in actually discovering healthy foods and changing my diet to healthy foods that also brought me joy. At first, the same challenge of like, oh my gosh, so I'm not supposed to drink milk, so what else? I was so used to drinking coffee with so much milk all day long. And so I tried several non-dairy milks, and I actually personally, for me, I ended up finding this milk that I like so much more, oat milk. Now I just drink oat milk all the time. I don't know. You might be pleasantly surprised. That's really cool.
Yep.
I love that. Cool. Do you have another additional thing you want to say before I pass to my creativity piece, or can I ask you a question, or what would you like to, if there's anything else you wanted to share?
Ask me a question.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. I know one of the big questions that I had while I was not inspired to cook is what's an easy thing that can be healthy, super easy to make, and makes me feel amazing? Like one easy go-to recipe that would be so simple it's ridiculous, and it makes you feel good in that moment. What would come to your mind?
Healthy or not healthy?
Healthy, yes, healthy and yummy. That's what I wanted and had a hard time to do. Yeah.
You know, I love quinoa and I always make it. So I made it today and I use it for different things. So like one thing that's really comforting to me and I really like is quinoa with broccoli
Mhm.
and ginger dressing.
Oh, interesting.
Like I buy ginger, it's like I buy it in the supermarket. It's in the refrigerated section. It's a ginger dressing and I add
Oh,
that with broccoli and quinoa.
very
I've
cool.
been on a kick of it and it's easy to make.
Yeah, that
Have
sounds
broccoli.
really awesome.
Yeah, and it's comforting, it's filling. But I always have quinoa because that's a comforting food because you could add it to soups, you make salads with it. But I just always have it in the house. But that's easy peasy to
Cool.
make.
Yeah. I like that it's just 3 ingredients. That's the kind of stuff that I was looking for, or even like just 2 ingredients or something like that. So thank you. That's a great starter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the quinoa has protein in it. It has
Mhm.
fiber. Your broccoli is your cruciferous vegetables. It has even more fiber. And then the ginger is great for digestion.
Yes.
So it's easy.
Yep. And helps even with queasiness potentially, depending. Yeah, all that stuff. Lots of beneficial things. I love it. Thank you so much, Stacey. So you're also going to be a contributor in my group, which is so cool. So everybody watching, if you're curious, I'm going to give you 2 things. Like, first of all, more about Stacey directly. You can find her at flavorfullifestyle.com. I love that so much. Great URL. And also on Instagram, I trust that you have the link on your website as well, and people can
I
find
do.
the links.
Yep,
Okay.
and I also have group support. Also,
Right.
because I always hear I want menus. So I have a program where you could sign up, get customizable meal plans in your email where you could add recipes, change it up. So every week you could try different recipes, and you could choose different types of programs. So if it's a flex eating or vegetarian, whatever you like. But it's just nice to get the recipes every week. You know what you're going to eat. And it's a great way to try new things. So that's also available on the website.
I like it. And I'm sure Instagram has cool pictures always that are easy. Like, that's been one of my inspiration sources also. Thank you so much. And everybody, like I mentioned, the group that I have, the free group, there will also be a teaser and not just teasers, like actual play prompts and practicable things that you can use. You'll find it here, the Cancer Catalyst to Joy group on Facebook. Stacey is also in there as one of the contributors, and I also sometimes post joy food things, and so we love to exchange those tips and things that work for us that bring more wellness and joy. So yeah, the more you focus on those things, the more you can create that in your life, right? So the resources are there. Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you.
I'm going to grab the last bit of this workshop with a small creativity prompt that I want to inspire people to. And I mentioned earlier, so I have my desk over here. I mentioned a blank piece of paper, and I have a quick creativity prompt for you two things actually. Like one is from my book, Permission to Sparkle, which is all about making your life more sparkly for yourself, even through any challenges. And this one will help you get there. This is a creativity prompt. You find more of those in my book as well. So what you can do is you grab a bunch of colors, whatever you have around, and you can also have stickers. It doesn't really matter, whatever feels like fun to use right now. And I happen to have a bag of colors here. I have oil pastels here, but you don't have to use oil pastels. You can use any kind of colors like felt markers. But I love the oil pastels. If you have anything that you can use to put pressure on and just really go for it and express yourself, use those kinds of colors for this exercise. So what this one is all about is it's not about creating a beautiful piece of art, but this one is a small exercise of release, to release any negative emotions that you have right now and just kind of acknowledge them, express them, put them on paper, and let them go. So how you do this, you can either close your eyes or pick colors that represent what you feel right now and choose them. It doesn't really matter. I am going to close my eyes and just pick random colors. And you see me drawing live here as I'm doing this, and I'm basically expressing my emotions. So, and it's not even thinking about what I'm drawing. It's simply like using broad movement strokes and drawing with that. And this also has to do with what we did earlier, using our body. This is about using body movement and expressing any emotion and really letting them flow onto paper, and play big, like make this really big. And you see with oil pastels, you can also get wild and you can color over the things. So I'm going to do this, and you can also make it ugly if you think you're ugly. You have ugly feelings inside is what I want to say. If you think ugly thoughts of that your reality sucks, or just bring it on paper and express all of that, including it can be anger, it can be not feeling beautiful, whatever it is, or sad or small. Maybe you're in a mode to just have small drawing right now, and to just feel small. That's also there's no right or wrong. Just express what you feel and put it out there. And then when you feel complete, this is not a super long exercise. Keep breathing as you do this. When you're here and you did that, then close your eyes and put your hands on your heart and take a few deep breaths and just be present with how you feel right now. And as you keep breathing, you can breathe out. Keep breathing out any negative emotions that you feel might still be in your body. Just breathe them onto that paper in your mind. And breathe them out. That's actually one thing that I also learned in acupuncture from my acupuncturist doctor, that when we want to let something go, there's this breathing technique of just going like this. You can make it loud, and anything you want to let go, like really breathing it out. And then when you're done, that's it. This is a super small exercise that we can do at any time to release our emotions and what we've got inside. And why that is so helpful is because healing and wellness and joy all comes from not bottling things up, but by letting things out and processing them and acknowledging them, but letting them go, right? So I would love to hear as you guys watch this. I see it. We have a few live watchers, and I don't see the live comments yet, but we will get to all the comments. I would love to hear what resonated with you, what inspired you, how it made you feel, if you got any ahas. So, but before we go to close now the workshop, I want you to take a moment and put your hands on your heart and listen to your heart for a moment, in moments of silence. And as you close your eyes, ask yourself, ask your heart, what does your heart want for you right now? Is there something that it wants you to do for yourself to bring more joy and wellness? What is it that your heart tells you to do? Is it something, ask for help, or is it something you can do easily for yourself? Is it to let something go? Maybe there's something that feels like shoulds and that really is not the right moment, or maybe you don't have to do it at all. What can you do for yourself that brings you more wellness and joy? And whatever you hear from your heart, just take that and then say thank you to your heart and say thank you to you for listening to yourself and listening to your heart, because that's where all the healing comes from. All right, so we are on top of the hour for this workshop. I'm so happy that you were all here. If you're interested in finding more joy and wellness inspirations, there you can find more about me here on my website. I do a bunch of things, workshops for cancer patients and beyond. I have this free group that I mentioned before, the Joy Wellness group on Facebook. You can come there. And then I also have this week on Friday, I'm going to do a book party for my book, Permission to Sparkle book. That's all over my Facebook. That will be an hour workshop where I will read from my book and I will share journaling inspiration prompts for anybody who wants to make their life more magical and sparkling, whatever that means to you. And that can include everything, wellness, joy, whatever you want to make your life more awesome. That's this Friday. You also find the link on my website and on my Facebook. So thank you everyone for having been here. I'm looking forward to getting to all your comments. I saw we had a few thumbs up and a few watchers. Please share this if you know others who would benefit, and feel free to shoot me a message if you have any questions. I'm all about supporting all of you who want more wellness and joy. I'm a role model that it's possible. I had breast cancer stage 4. That's still the official prognosis. I just finished my last chemo on last Thursday. And I'm living my life sparkling. I have bands, 2 bands that I started. I published this book. I do workshops. I do what I love. I live a life I love in joy. And I know that even if things may not look like this right now for you, we can all do that, and you have it at your fingertips. And I'm happy to inspire you to also do that for yourself. So blessings and wellness wishes to all of you, and I hope to see you in my group or wherever you're inspired to go. That's perfect. Just follow your heart. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.